Hey everybody, it's Father Richard Gonzalez here. Saint Juan Diego and the Immaculate Conception belong together, although we don't usually associate the two with each other. More people think of pairing the Blessed Virgin Mary through her title of the Immaculate Conception with a different saint. I mean, after all, it was to Saint Bernadette of Lourdes that Our Lady announced, "I am the Immaculate Conception" in the year 1858, 4 years after the dogma of the Blessed Virgin Mary's Immaculate Conception was defined by Blessed Pope Pius IX. If we step back for a moment, we can notice connections between the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception and the Feast of Our Lady Guadalupe, which are connected to our own pursuit of holiness. Within this video, I share information from an article from the Dominicana Journal website, which I have linked below in the description box. In the celebration of the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception, we celebrate that the Blessed Virgin Mary was conceived without original sin, blessed from the moment of her conception with an entirely unique holiness. Called full of grace by the Archangel Gabriel, Mary was perfectly prepared by God for her unique role in his plan. Her affirmation to the Incarnation made the redemption of mankind possible. Long after her first fiat, Mary's yes to this divine role, and after her assumption into heaven, Mary continues to serve God's redeeming plan and enlists others to join her. The most remarkable historical example of this was her appearance as Our Lady Guadalupe in 16th century Mexico. In December of the year 1531, at Tepeyac Hill near Mexico City, the Virgin Mary instructed a humble indigenous convert, Juan Diego, to ask the bishop to build a church in her honor. Juan Diego thought himself unworthy of this mission, so he chose to miss a planned meeting with Mary on Tepeyac Hill so he could take care of his sick uncle, and at one point walked a different route around Tepeyac to avoid speaking with Mary altogether. Despite the imperfections Juan Diego thought he had, Our Lady kept him as her messenger and sent him to the bishop with a gift of roses wrapped in his cloak or tilma. When Juan Diego unfolded his tilma, releasing the roses before the bishop, the tilma itself was imprinted with a miraculous image of the Virgin Mary as an indigenous woman, as queen, and as mother. This image of Our Lady, full of Aztec symbolism, led millions of the indigenous people of present-day Mexico to convert to Catholicism, founding the first Christian people in the Americas and establishing a spiritual headquarters, if you will, for the evangelization of the continent. For this reason, Pope Pius XII proclaimed Our Lady of Guadalupe to be patroness and empress of the Americas in the year 1945, and today her basilica near Tepeyac is the most visited Catholic pilgrimage site in the world. Mary's remarkable intervention at Tepeyac is closely tied to the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception. For one thing, Our Lady's appearance to Juan Diego fell within the octave of the Immaculate Conception. Juan Diego's tilma portrays Mary as the woman of the Apocalypse, clothed with the sun with the moon under her feet, which is a portrayal of Mary depicted by artists and sculptors since the mid-16th century as the Immaculate Conception, La Inmaculada. In the year 1660, Mexican Jesuit Mateo de la Cruz noted that the image of the tilma possessed all the iconographical symbols of Mary in her Immaculate Conception. Customarily, throughout the 17th and 18th centuries, Mexican priests often and eloquently preached about the special connection between Mary's Immaculate Conception and her image as Our Lady Guadalupe. As we celebrate the solemnity of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, let us not be afraid to reflect also on the life of her beloved messenger, Saint Juan Diego. Let us learn from his missteps and not ignore Mary amid our cares and insecurities. Rather, as the Saint of Tepeyac did 500 years ago, let us draw close to Mary Immaculate so that her imprint on our lives may teach us to follow God's will and strengthen us to build up the Church in her continent and throughout the world. And throughout this journey, may God bless you today, tomorrow, and always, and I'll see you real soon. If you enjoyed this YouTube video, consider giving it a thumbs up like, subscribing to my YouTube channel if you haven't already, and hitting the notification bell and the all tab so you are notified of all future videos on my YouTube channel.